Welcome back, everybody. This is Saturday Night Nerds Podcast, episode 8. We have two special guests with us tonight. We have our great friend Jennifer and EJ. They will help join us and help us talking trash about everything that's gone on in nerd culture up to this point. We will keep you guys updated on episode 7 and when that's going to be reshot. Uh, I So hopefully by the end of this month we'll have an update about when we can film episode 7, and then we also got updates coming on what episode 9 is going to be about in September. A lot of stuff going on, but the topics for tonight we have the Sandman, Hulu's latest film Prey, and then we'll just talk about whatever after those two subjects are done. Let's see. And then without further ado, we'll run the theme song.
Is the best thing what? Exactly.
What's good, everybody? Let's see. So once again, we are back with episode 8. We got special guests with us, Jen and EJ. So it's your boy Deante the Giant and Emperor King Will back home and in better shape than ever.
Excellent.
Let's see. Without further ado, we will go to topic number 1, which is Netflix series coming from DC Comics, The Sandman. So we're just like sharing our opinion and all that and how we feel. So Jen, you're more than welcome to go off.
I can't remember who brought it to my attention first, or maybe I was just looking through the trailers on IMDb to see what new stuff was coming out. I could not wait for Sandman to come out. I know it's kind of been in that pivotal hell of Hollywood for since the 90s, maybe even the 80s, I think. Yeah, it was the 80s. And I was so excited when they finally decided to make it. And I kind of tried to read up on the comic books a little bit, but I thought they did a really great job with it.
Yeah.
I mean, just even the main character of Dream, he was just so kind of charismatic and dark. Even one thing that stood out to me the most was when Lucifer was threatening him, and he just kept his composure, and he was telling him yeah, but you still, what would happen in hell if people couldn't dream of heaven, and just shut Lucifer up. And I was like, oh, but he always stayed really calm, and I loved his voice and his delivery of things.
Yeah. Absolutely, I totally agree on that. What you got to say, Imp?
I think from adapting the comic to the screen to a live adaptation, man, they did really good. It was almost word for word out the comic books and everything, man. So I'm like, that's what they should be doing. You know what I'm saying, with these movies and things that they're coming out with in Marvel and DC. Just don't change anything, but just adapt it to the live. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the characters, I love the characters. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty much everything that you hoped it would be. And I think this might be DC's like trophy right here, man. Like they did good. They did good with this
Absolutely.
one. Like so
Man.
like I don't really have any gripes about it, to be honest. I just like it was awesome.
I have
Yeah.
one tiny little gripe. Just
Ooh.
just tiny.
Ooh.
I wish that they would have brought the Lucifer character from the television show and had him play
That would
Lucifer.
have made more sense.
Right?
Yeah.
That was
That
my
would've made more sense.
Now,
yeah.
is that that's the same world, right?
Yeah, I
It's
think
supposed
so.
to be.
Because it's written by the same author for
Yeah.
both the Lucifer show and Sandman. So that's why I think a lot of people were probably expecting that. Although I'm not to detract anything from the actress, she did an excellent job. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it's just
Sure.
if you were to try to work towards any kind of continuity, especially going forward, or to to maybe
Uh-oh.
I think
I think
Mike's
their
muted.
mics went out. There's like a mute sign on both.
Oh,
of
that's I did that to try to avoid echo.
Okay.
Oh.
Come on.
All right.
But so
What were you-
like I was just saying that it would have been great for continuity purposes to have the Lucifer character played by the original or the actor from the show.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I thought that, like I said, not to take anything away from the actress, she did an excellent job. I thought that Lucifer was still very imposing and I don't know if it had the charismatic level as much, but she had a way of being pleasantly intimidating, which is difficult to pull off.
Mhm.
So kudos to her for that.
Absolutely.
I love the battle that they had. Like I know I didn't read the comic book, but when like they started going through it, I'm like, that is so cool. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's like a battle of telepaths. Like I mentally send a wolf at you. It's like, oh man, how am I gonna beat that wolf? And then it's a hunter. I'm gonna send a hunter your way. And it's like rock, paper, scissors or some type
Yeah.
of game like that with
Like
them.
a mental rock, paper, scissors.
yeah, that was pretty awesome. Though to me, it was a lot like. Did you just leave that one on?
Okay.
That way, that's more. It to me, it reminded me of like in the comics. I know it's Marvel, but the way Professor X would kind of build up for battles when it came to being in the astral plane and projecting himself, or Doctor Strange. Anyone who's outside of their body, they seem to build up this mental armor, and then that gets it. And they did an excellent job of trying to like bring that to Vision to live action was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, one thing I did really appreciate about the Sandman is that he plays like both sides really well, like the nightmare part of it, and then like he plays the hope part of it too. Because I love that's how he defeated her, and he's like, "I'm hope," and she just like, "Oh man, I'm defeated," and I'm like, I love how he does that. He can just kind of go back and forth, like he understands his role, like so well, and you can see it in the character too. I love that.
He's a pretty complex character too.
Mm-hmm.
Especially his whole storyline and everything. I don't know if y'all watched the latest episode that came out. Like,
The
Yeah.
bonus, yeah.
it was pretty. It was, man, I loved it.
I didn't get the cat.
The cat one was a
The
little
cat
cool.
one was a little weird.
I mean, I understood,
I'm like,
but I didn't know how necessary that was, but
I was pretty confused by the cats. I'm like, wait a minute, am I
I was
watching
like,
the same thing? Like, what?
but it made sense because in a way he doesn't play favorites,
Yeah,
and he is all things Dream. So even to the most minute aspect of life, if it experiences Dream, it is part of his existence. So I understand that, and it was kind of like broadening your horizon to see more than just the people that he serves. It's you got to think of all the different life forms, all the different possibilities there. It's pretty intense, and I think Will mentioned it earlier, and he's absolutely right. They went almost word for word from comic samples I've read or gone back and researched. I mean, even which is my favorite episode, but the one where he meets up with his sibling, and they have the walk. But that whole intro to each other, the park, the bench, everything is word for word from the time they meet through the whole thing, and it's done very well. I mean, of course, you're looking at comic book frames, and Sandman's hair is just like, wow, it's like it's like a Tim Burton nightmare hair going. But I mean, bringing everything they did, bringing those frame for frame to life from a comic book strip is amazing. I mean, they did an excellent job. And as far as the diversity, and this was something else I was going to say about Lucifer, in this show, they brought a level of diversity I felt that was comfortable and impressive, that it flowed they made it flow so nicely through the whole show that I don't think anyone could say anything detracted from a story or made it feel like it was substituted for anything other than just artistic value. I mean, it was done so well. It wasn't like, it's not just a service or anything.
Yeah. I have to say that's probably my favorite episode, is the one with him and his sister Death. That's probably my favorite one. I love that episode. I think I went back and watched it again.
It's that good.
I mean, she's a beautiful woman, and she did the part. I mean, on the head there. I mean, it was awesome. And I mean, the perspective, and it was one thing. I'm not probably as big a fan as Jen of the series, but for that episode alone, and if you go and compare everything through, Marvel's depiction of death, which they haven't actually brought forward yet into MCU, but through comics and so forth, most depictions of death make it very subdued or morbid or macabre in a way. And I felt that the way that they presented this one was much more. I know that's the way it's written too, but that's why it's so well done. It's so original. It's a different take than the down and depressive and dark macabre death, grim kind of thing. And it made so much more. It made so much sense. I mean, and you got to see, if you ever had a question of how difficult that could be. I mean, I couldn't walk a day in that life. That was a great episode.
She had a different type of character built in. The way she handled everything, kept her composure. She just dominated her screen time. Like a shout out to the actress, because she commanded so much presence, and it was really seductive for me. I was like, Jesus Christ, keep being a fucking badass. Oh my God.
She drew you in. I mean, like, she brought like you said, she commanded her moments, were just like, she didn't have to. It was like the focus was brought in just from her presence. It was awesome.
Oh my goodness, she seduced the soul out of me. I was hers from the moment she greeted him. Give me my soul back, Death. Damn.
She was about to take Deante on his journey. Like, it's time. He's like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then one dude that just shot his shot at her, he was like, you better not hope you see me again. And it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, she's like, you'll be seeing me real soon. Like,
really soon. And I was like,
uh-oh.
All of us are like, oh, run. But now you're going to run. What are you going to do?
Right.
All those characters, man, they killed it. Like,
Yeah.
all the
Oh, yeah.
actors and actresses, they killed it, bro.
I think his portrayal, and I guess another part that I liked a lot was Hobb. But Morpheus alone, the actor, I mean, the way he's very, very stoic, which makes sense because he's not a life form like we would understand. He's an alien. So, but at the same time, when his ego gets attacked or when love gets involved, you see a change, and the actor does a very good job of bringing just enough emotion to where you could see it's boiling up in the individual, but because he's not used to addressing it, it's like subdued. He's, so you could feel it in his voice, you could see it in his eyes, but it's not like overly expressed, and it shows he's not like the rest of us when something comes up, like except for those small moments. Just like when Bob offended him, it was like you saw it immediately, that arrogance and the ego came to him, and it was like, it to me, he did a really good job of showing the regalness, the fact that he's the king of dreams. It showed up like that. The moment that Hobb tried to make it feel like they were equals, it was like, oh, and it was not very good.
Yeah, I kind of got choked up at that scene. Like, I thought we were friends, or I forgot what he said word for word to him.
Yeah.
But I thought we were friends, and when he declined him and walked off, and then of course by the end of the episode he comes back, but I did not see it coming. Like,
yeah. I thought he realized that too, but it took him that 200 years to realize, that he did miss him. And he was important to him, because I mean, I don't know if any of us could ever grasp that concept. I mean, the comprehension level of being an entity without end or beginning. I mean, there is no death for him there, and he doesn't even have to contemplate that. It's not possible. So, I mean, friendship is something that's, I mean, you're now talking on philosophic levels of, could a deity actually have a friend that's immortal, and share any kind of, I mean, besides amusement, but I mean,
Well, I mean, I think part of that was from his imprisonment, because I think, he kind of showed it a lot when Jessame, was she a raven? When she died?
What was her name?
Jessame.
Yeah.
Jessame. I think that was her name, Jessame. When she died, like you could see like the anguish in his face, like that was his friend. And I like the fact that Matthew, the new one, the new Raven, like he doesn't quite let him ride on his shoulder. Like every picture I ever see of him in the comics, he always has like a Raven on his shoulder, but he won't let Matthew do it yet. And I'm not sure if that's a real bird or not, but that thing is so smart. It just kind of like hops after him on the ground and talks to him, but he doesn't try to go on his shoulder yet. Like I kept watching, like, get on his shoulder. Do you do it?
You got to build that trust up.
It's a reserved spot. I'm sure it still feels like that other Jessame belongs there. It's just like if you lost a friend or something, and you get a new friend, but that new friend tries to step into the shoes,
of the old friend.
It's tough.
It's too soon.
You don't want to, dismiss them, but you can't give up the ghost to say,
right.
You don't want to let go just yet.
Absolutely. Like that's top notch writing right there. I hate to say it. Whew. If that don't catch an Oscar, I am going to be blown away.
I told Eric, if Netflix doesn't renew it for a second season,
we're done.
I'm done with Netflix.
Bye-bye.
That subscription canceled.
You guys,
I'm done.
I mean,
because I'll get it when Witcher comes back on. As soon as I watch it, and we cut it back off. I'm like,
The audio book's really good too.
Writing, though, I mean, it's so much more in depth because it's the little things like Jen was just mentioning with the Raven. It's something that if you would have to pay attention to, they don't blatantly just explain it to you. So you got to watch it, and you see the moments of humanity brought out on a being that is as far from humanity as you could possibly be. It's like when he's sitting on the bench before death comes to visit him, he doesn't understand how to deal with being bored and depressed because he's completed his task.
Yeah.
So he's
Absolutely.
like, what am I gonna? The rest of us are like, hey, we're done with work and stuff. We're like, whew.
Yeah.
But for him, it's like, what do I go back? What do I do? What do I?
Yeah.
It's a,
Yeah.
I am glad that they didn't drag that out all season. You know how some shows they drag it out, and I'm like, there's even books that I've read that does that, and it's like, all right, I'm done. I'm like, just
yeah.
let me
Like
just head.
the
Like,
whole
just
first season,
Yeah,
would
go to the
they
next.
did he's trying to get his sand and stuff back for the whole first season. It would have been like
Yeah.
They would have lost.
they did
me.
really
They would've
good. It
lost
wasn't.
me.
It was like enough of a struggle to get there to show that it was hard, but it wasn't like wasn't beating a dead horse for it.
I
You
think
want to
like
mentally check out.
Yeah.
like how some shows do, like each episode like doesn't really complete each other or something like that. But like with this, like each episode was complete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It was done well. It didn't feel like there needed any filler.
right.
The filler episodes are some of the hardest to deal with when you're a fan of a series. Like
Mhm.
I was a fan of Supernatural. Big into Supernatural probably until season 4. I think it was 4. I don't remember, but then when you're watching Supernatural, of course, because it's like 20, 30 episodes or whatever for a season, they have a bunch of filler episodes.
Yeah.
But when you have a more dramatic series like this one, filler episodes are, like you said, they you check out, you mentally check out, and it's just filler episode that's drama that doesn't seem to have purpose.
I think it was season where they had the Leviathan. I think it was like season 6 or season 7. They had so many fillers.
The only real thing I liked about the Leviathan season for Supernatural was the turducken stuff, when they had the turducken sandwiches. It was hilarious. It was making everyone dumb. But no, I mean, Sandman did a really good job of. There were parts in it that like I said, I'm not as big of a fan as Jen, that lose me as far as when it gets to be too existential. I guess I don't have that kind of range with my brain, but
which part of that do that you were?
A lot of times when he was back in the land of dreams, like when he was dealing with Cain and Abel, stuff like that. The library with his right hand, where it took him a little bit to once again swallow down his ego a little bit and be like, hey, thanks, you kept me afloat. I should appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Those moments are good, but it's if they spend too long there, it's more like the cat episode for me. The cat episode was way too much existential stuff, or cat existential, which I didn't even think cats could get. And whoa. I was like,
I'm not going to say the word. I'm not going to.
But the cat episode, like, I like the art in it, man.
Oh,
like,
definitely.
Dude, I was blown away by the art. I'm like, dude, why does this look so goddamn real?
Yeah. And the voice acting was amazing.
Yeah.
But I mean, but the voice acting was amazing, and I mean, like, nothing about that episode was cheap or in any way lessened the series. It just was something I think that was probably less my thing, like less in my wheelhouse, but that doesn't make it bad at all.
I think
I'm a cat person. That's why I can't have a litter box.
I hyper focused on so many different things about the Sandman. I think 2 of my favorite characters had to be Death and Corinthian. Like Corinthian was like the undisputed underground underrated champ of that series. The fact that he met what's her name, Rosa, I can't, it just slipped my mind. The Rose Walker, I believe, and my mind just slipped. But when he like kidnapped her little brother and took him to the serial killer convention.
Oh yeah.
The way he took care of him was like
It was strange. Yeah,
like
I felt like you couldn't help but like him to a certain extent.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's to me is the best kind of villain, is the one where you either like them or sympathize with them to a certain extent.
right.
And he just wanted to exist. He didn't understand. I mean, he was created to cause fear and to cause,
Like terror.
terror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to him, that's not bad. What he does is not bad, and he just wants to survive. He just wants to live.
Right.
So I thought he was a great character, and the actor for that. This is probably the one role that has saved him for me. He's actually, he did really good. He can't, because when I first saw him and they picked him, I was like, oh god,
Shit got real.
You guys hired this guy. Did you guys not watch The Predator? I'm pretty sure he's the dude from The Predator, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I mean, talk about not having eyes. I wanted to gouge my own out for that movie. So Corinthian was pushing it, bro. But no, he came through. I mean, he really did. He brought a smooth, I don't know, like likable edge to a serial killer.
He's a smooth criminal.
And he's like competing with other serial killers. Like, yo, this kid off limits. Stay away from him. And it's just like such a weird situation.
Yeah.
And he has a whole fan club, and they don't even know that he's been alive for like 300 years.
Yeah,
he's like,
and he was like manipulating them so easily, like playing into like their narcissism and stuff, and their want to be around him. I thought that was so cool that he would like, feed into it just enough to get them to do what he liked. I was like, that's cool. It was smart.
He's a genius.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Corinthian. Also, like the fact that Dream showed up and soloed that whole convention. It's like, wow. When he undid everything that they mentally had to go through to be serial killers for them, and like one guy blows his brain out, a couple people call cops on themselves. It's like whoa, Dream is not to be played with at all.
Nah.
It was really smart. I mean, because I was wondering how he was going to do it, because his powers are so undefined, not like a rigid system that you can just.
Well,
so you kind of
uses them in a very clever way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, he's very clever. He definitely knows his role well enough where he can walk into a room like that, but he's not arrogant about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't walk in there but he just walks in. That's why I love it. He's very stoic. He's very calm, and he's just like, I'm just gonna do this, and it's like, oh,
yeah, but it's so
serial
smart.
killers. Oh my god. And blowing their brains out in the parking lot. They didn't even go home. They rather dead or in jail.
If you ever took ever watched, even like you ever take any criminal psych, or if you ever watched any of those shows like profiler shows, serial killers and people of that nature, that their mental capacity, they don't recognize or feel empathy or guilt. So for him to share that with them, because they couldn't feel it before, so instantly, instead of them being the monster without that, being the human able to do those terrible things because they don't feel guilt, they don't feel remorse, they don't think it was wrong, they actually crave it. But then he showed them and had them feel it. So they wanted, I mean, it destroys them as a psychopath. It's like
right.
So you gotta take that their want of killing all of a sudden turns on them and becomes something that makes them want to, get ill. They're sick to their stomach about what they did, and that's something they never felt before. I thought that was so intelligent the way they brought that out.
They sure did. I that's probably one of my top 5 scenes in like new television shows of all time, because I just sat there laughing my ass off because everybody's surrendering to the cops and guns going off in the background. Like, oh my god, he just shut down so many lifelong careers in a few minutes. Like,
I just can't wait for like the other siblings, like Death and who was the other, Desire, like
Desire.
get their own solo series or something like that, man.
Oh,
I'd be interested in seeing things from their perspective. Yeah.
oh, that would be awesome for real. Like seeing, I definitely want to see Destruction and Desire because Desire is gonna go fucking. He's gonna go off for a bit. If you've seen him in the comics or in the novel, oh, his
So
relationship with
what is the
Dream.
main reason? Like, I mean, I missed, I haven't read that portion, but what is the reason behind their strife with each other? The Dream and Desire. Is it mostly like an ego thing, or is it? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Desire's whole mission is like trying to humble him, and I kind of get why Desire does all of that, but I don't know. Like at a certain point, you just got to leave Dream alone, and it just doesn't seem like it would ever go that way.
hmm.
Yeah.
He's so petty, though. I love their back and forths that they have.
Yeah.
It
They
only
got
gets
a
worse.
sibling thing down. It's like an angry sibling thing, like the worst
Yeah.
sibling relationship.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I seen a meme on Twitter where the picture of Dream pulling his hair back, and it's nothing but women on there like, "Holy shit, daddy!" and all these freaky ass comments about how hot that scene was, and I was like,
I don't even remember.
Everyone's got their thing. I get
Yeah.
they love that. Whew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really, not when he was completely naked, being held in a
Yeah,
glass
in a
bowl.
glass bowl. Naked in a glass bowl.
It was the hair thing.
It was hot. It was hotter that he was pulling his sibling's hair.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey.
Oh, I see. Okay, I have it.
What is going on, man?
there's some freaks out here on.
Hey.
What
You know?
is-
But I won't judge them, but Lord have mercy.
what is happening?
At least they weren't like, oh, daddy, when he was getting all ashy and dying in hell, like when he's laying on the ground. It was like, they were like, because then you're like, man, you guys hit the freak button for real. On that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They let
He
that
looked like he
flag
was ready to
fly.
be put in a box and
What is going on with society, man?
Dream's dead.
No,
Is it? Death didn't turn you on, but the Dream pulling Desire's hair.
It's so weird.
Oh, come on, society. What we doing? What we doing here? But I would say for like overall, like a grade or score, you give it. What would you give it, Jen?
I give it like an 8 or a 9. Loved it. I thought it was
Okay.
great.
That's fair enough for me. Imp, what you got?
For me, I say a 9.5. Like,
Whew.
especially them nailing the lines, like from the comic book and everything. Like, it's hard to get that right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
Gotta give the source material love.
yeah.
That's some real shit.
Definitely.
What you got, EJ?
Originally coming into this, and I discussed it with Jen, I was like, maybe a 7. But after talking with you guys and kind of like going over stuff and rehashing it in my head, I don't know. I'd say probably an 8.5 because I mean they pulled it off. They really did. And I mean, just to see some of the supporting characters in that bonus episode, the bonus episode alone, from the moment that Calliope and Morpheus start to engage with each other, that was just so well done. It was so well done.
Yeah.
There are, like I said, sections, be it the cat or be it the diner. I know a lot of people like the diner. The diner was not one of my favorite episodes. So Death and Hob, of course, Corinthian in the final episode, and then the Calliope episodes. Those were enough for me to say, yep, to me, I would give it 8.5 because they brought it complete with the acting, the writing, everything came together, and they did an excellent job.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more.
What about you, Deante?
Based off what I've heard from you guys, like I had to bump it up a little bit. I was going to give it a solid 9, but I think it earned that 0.5 at the very least. I don't want to spook people and say 10 out of 10.
No.
It's like, oh, look at this bird ass motherfucker. In my grade book, I'd give it a solid A. A solid A. My favorite arcs had to be Death. The Diner was up there for me too. The Serial Killer Convention and Hobb of their 300 years of friendship. Like those are my best. And it knocked them down with the cat arc. So it did kind of chisel it a little bit from being a perfect score. But otherwise, I'm waiting for season 2 and I can't wait.
Yeah.
Great show.
I kind of hope that maybe they'll have some more flashbacks from when he was in prison, because I would like to see more of Charles Dance.
Mm-hmm.
I'd really like to see more of him because he's such a great actor.
Yeah.
I was super excited to see that he was in there. And he never, was it Brother Noomsby? He never disappoints.
Yeah, exactly.
He never disappoints.
Yeah, the Golden Child, man.
I know.
That's the first time I ever saw him was in the Golden. I love that movie.
Brother Noomsby.
I want to know more about him and
I have a DVD copy of the Golden Child all the time. But yeah, he's an amazing actor. Everything he comes to, he brings 110%.
Yeah, he does.
And I mean this may sound terrible, but when it comes to British acting, okay, they have like 14 guys. All right, and they use them for everything. I mean, if you watch Game of Thrones, you've seen every British actor there is, okay? And then watch something else. Watch Sherlock, and then bam, you've seen every British actor once again, because they only have so many. But when they do something, though, I mean, these guys bring it. They come with like serious action to these characters, and they put the effort in to where they're believable and it just, they bring it home. I mean, I have to say, every time that they've had a series where, me and Jen will look at it or something, and you'll hear, oh, it's a British series, and then you're like, oh, they're probably going to do really good on it, and then not to knock us, but we have to own up to our series that are just not
trash.
Yeah, they're trash. Actually, I don't know. Was Resident Evil done by the Brits? Because their Resident Evil series on Netflix was.
No, don't.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh, I wouldn't know for sure. I took your review for it. I took your word for it when you wrote the review. So I'm.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, save those brain bites because that was rough. That was rough.
Oh man,
I know of one episode from that, and I was like, I don't know. I think I fell asleep halfway. I don't know. But
I was struggling. I gave him 6 episodes. 6.
Jesus.
And I was like, God, I can't give any more. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Yep, I'm taking our word for it.
Yeah.
But Sandman was definitely worth every episode that you sat through, even if there's ones where you were kind of like, ooh, I'm not sure if this show's for me. And then sure enough, they're gonna pull it together, and it all came full circle, and it really they did a great job.
Do you know what I could not stand was the son. Why the son did not set him free. That just irritated me.
He was scared
so much. I get that he was scared. I know he killed, the Raven and everying, and
he kept asking him like every year, like
yeah,
if I let you go, will you promise not to harm me and his partner? And I think like
I would have been more scared.
A lot of that, like I don't know if it comes back in with Calliope. It's like these individuals, the moment they kind of focus on selfish means to, if they're going to do something good for you, it's only to serve their own purpose.
Yeah.
The deities, whatever, don't answer back. Just like when he asked him, like, if I let you go, we promise not to hurt me or my partner. Dream would just watch him. He didn't say a word.
Stare at him.
With like Calliope, she would always tell him, like, just let me go and I would help you. You know, he's like, well, I need this and this, and just let me go. So they won't give any guarantees because these people aren't trying to do the right thing. They're trying to save their own ass. So it's a different level of like, if that guy came in, got Calliope, and then as soon as he got her back to his place, he's like, look, you're free. And then before you take off, if you want to help me out and do me a favor, cool. That would have been different.
Yeah.
But you notice he only talked about setting her free when it served for him.
Yeah.
With the son.
I think that goes to show how selfish we can be as human beings.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
The short game. They only see the short game.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it just proves my point that when the guy's husband or partner or whatever, when he pushed him over the chalk and he saw that it, messed up the marking, and he just kind of like looks back at Dream, and then he just kind of keeps going. Dream never hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Because he could have probably put it back the way it was.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
He didn't.
Yeah. It's those little subtle things, man. That's really what I feel put, the icing on the cake for that series is those little subtle hints that they didn't have to explain to you, like if you call it good, if not, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you need to watch Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman is that he's the man for this series. He's got some bangers, but Sandman, that's gonna follow me forever. There's a special place in my heart for that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Let's see. So that should be the conclusion for the Sandman review. So up next, we are going to share our thoughts on Prey, which is the latest in the Predator series, and Hulu is now streaming it. You can go for free, and if you're already like subscribed, and it's about what 2-hour movie, so
I think so.
So it shouldn't be that difficult to get through. It's very entertaining, but we'll let the one and only Jen go first with her thoughts.
I kind of want to hear what Will wants to say first. Come on, Will. Let's hear what you got to say about it.
I gotta get time to like get my words together. Like I don't know, I just got some gripes about it.
What gripes? Do tell.
Like I don't know, the CGI wasn't that great in it. First of all, like it was, and it was okay. Like the action scenes were okay, they were good. You know what I'm saying? But I had questions about that movie. Like certain things would happen that you're like, wait a minute, this dude's supposed to be dead. Like how is he not dead?
Oh, the brother.
Yeah,
the brother.
Like what's going on, bro? Like, and especially when the girl got her leg in the bear trap, you know what I mean?
Oh.
That should have snapped her legs in two. Like she's not that big. Like that dang bear trap should have did some damage to her.
So some like continuity errors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of realism
Yeah.
on the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we couldn't tell from a camera angle, but she had huge cankles. So when the bear trap came, her ankles were so fat
they couldn't close.
It was just like, oh shit. And then she just pushed it off. She was like, I've always had huge ankles, just swollen ass ankles.
I don't know, man.
Maybe that was part of her tribe nickname. It was like girl with huge ankles.
I don't know.
That's her rite of passage, is to have the biggest cankles.
And then she took it.
Pumpkin
She took it
cankles
like
over
a
there.
G though. Like she didn't cry. She didn't yell. Nothing. Well, nothing. I'm like, I would have been screaming.
Yeah, it's almost like a Scientology birth. It's got to be.
Getting your
Like,
Gotta be all quiet.
Yeah, that movie is insane. Like, and it's accurate too. It's supposed to be a good representation of how Comanche actually hunt.
Yeah.
And so they got everything from the people themselves, and they didn't fudge any of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Talked to a bunch of tribes to try to get as much authenticity about the area, the different, the different customs and cultures that they would have. So that was good that they at least went and asked and, got the information because.
right.
Yeah.
That was genius.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I do like how it was set back in like the 1700s or something like that. So yeah, I like what they did there. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
To me, she was kind of like her own kind of like Ellen Ripley in a way, where Ellen Ripley never really had to be like super masculine. Like she could be feminine, but she could also be tough.
Yeah.
And she was able to defeat the predator using her head. And
Yeah.
she obviously doesn't have the physical strength to do it. I mean, come on, Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't have the physical strength to be a predator, and he's a freaking beast.
And that was always, I heard a lot of complaints. I mean, from different groups because I follow, Predator and Aliens or Colonial Marines or whatever group because I was a fan of the movies, and they're shooting out like, oh, how's this girl gonna beat one Arnold? I was like, yo, Dutch in the movie, man, when he finally gets down, he's like, all right, I'm gonna throw hands with this fool. He hits him with everything he's got, and the Predator's little tooth thing there just kind of flicks for a second. Like, what was that? And then he just beats the holy shit out of Dutch. I mean, just like, and I mean, that dude is like, it sounds like a child is being beat when you're watching it, and like through his goggles or whatever.
Like he stole something.
Oh, he's just beating the hell out of Dutch. So it doesn't matter if your dude looked like the damn mountain. Okay, if he was fighting the Predator, that Predator killed a grizzly bear with a punt.
Yeah.
Who's gonna fight that dude?
Exactly.
I mean, get Iron Mike in there maybe, but we're talking about
or mystical.
Or
mystical. If you see him fighting the bear, help the bear.
Exactly. Start stabbing him in the leg or something like little shanks while the bear's fighting. Yeah.
Take this.
Hey, I guess that's the definition of that meme. If you see me fighting the bear, help the bear. It was the Predator that came up with it.
Like, we're gonna make you a shirt, Will.
Oh, I'm down for this. I'm down. It's like, and I was just watching something earlier about how like what is the rankings on bears, and polar bear was the most dangerous, and like they could smell you from so far away. By the time you finally see one, it's your ass.
Yeah.
Unless you can get in the car, that polar bear is gonna smoke you. Like,
yeah, you can't outswim it.
Can't outswim it.
No, can't outrun it. You better pray to God, man.
You just gotta outrun the dude next to you.
Yeah. Fetal position or something.
Yeah, kick his feet, something.
Trip him.
Just keep going.
It's so bad.
Resort, soil your pants. Just let it all rip. Just ball up in the fetal position and let it rip and hope the bear.
He might not eat you then. He might not eat you.
It might not.
He's just gonna dunk you in the water to clean you off, like how we wash our vegetables.
Yeah,
he's just gonna rinse you really quick.
Like, he's clean. Okay, I'm gonna eat him now. It's like wow. And Predator's like, no, screw that. I'm gonna fight them. Black Air Force energy. Let's go. Like, Predators are crazy.
That punch was deadly.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually surprised, and I wonder if anybody knows why they ended up going with a berserker predator instead of like because you know how they did like the jungle one and like the city one, and they all had like some nuances in their faces and like their weapons and everything. And I wonder why they end up going with like a berserker one.
Yeah, I didn't like his weapons too much, especially the bomb that just chopped him up. I thought it was gonna blow the whole forest up. We're like, oh shit, he's
Right.
running, and I thought he was working with something new, and those little spike disc thingies just red lights everywhere, and a lot of people are dead.
Yeah.
I-
His weapons were definitely different, and
And maybe it was more like a.
I like his shield though, man. The shield.
Oh.
Yeah, his shield was cool.
someone had brought up a good question online. It was like if you watch Aliens versus Predator, it shows them back in the Aztec time, and then they still had their plasma weapons. So the cannon existed, and this guy didn't use it. So he's either one, not blooded, or whatever they call it, where they've achieved getting the cannon by whatever. So he may have not gotten to that level yet of honor or whatever. Or like Jen said, he's a berserker. I know that they kind of touched that on the movie Predators with Adrian Brody as the hero.
Yeah.
That there's multiple like sects within the culture.
Yeah.
There's the berserker ones who actually fight the normal ones you've seen, in the other movies, and they have different weaponry. Like one of them had that bird-like thing that he would launch after people. And then the other, he would use those dog things. And then there was that one that was all about fighting with blades, and he fought the samurai guy. So
love that.
Specialized. Maybe that's what the berserkers do, is they kind of pick one kind of. He seemed really focused on the spears and kind of blades, less energy kind of stuff.
I think you had a good idea when you the first when you said like him not being blooded. Like, because it seemed to me like when he got there, he was like just checking his surroundings out and learning. You know what I'm saying? Like just picking up different things and learning different, like the surroundings of him, and maybe that's what it was. Maybe that's why he didn't have the normal weaponry.
Well, if you if you go back and watch the second Alien Predator, sorry. If you go back and watch Predator 2 with Danny Glover, I noticed that he observes a lot more. Like he'll still go and he'll do his kills and everything, but I noticed like you can see him like off in the background and stuff, and he's like observing more. And I noticed that he observed Danny Glover a lot more, almost like he's almost building up to like what they feel like the apex predator is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I can kill this and kill this and kill this, and then he builds up to that. But the weaponry, I'm just kind of wondering if it's more like their species specific.
Possibly, yeah.
Because even the jungle predator had different weaponry than like the city dweller one.
Yeah, the city like bladed disc thing that actually Danny Glover's character Harrigan gets it and uses it in the end. But the jungle guy didn't have that, and the jungle guy didn't have that. They all seem to kind of pick, I don't know, maybe specialties or something that just like a normal hunter. Some hunters use a bow, some hunters use a rifle. Some crazy hunters probably use a spear.
Yeah. It's kind of like a free-for-all kind of armory that they have going on. Like, because those little detonating disc thingies, I thought they were interesting, but it wasn't my favorite weapon on them by any means. I guess they had fun with selecting what they're going to go with this berserker. So I don't have any complaints about that part. But I didn't mind seeing the 2-on-1 fight with him and how he handled himself. What was awesome is he took on all those English settlers and like colonizer, rest in peace. No.
That's really
Yeah, they did. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like that whole scene where they set the forest on fire to they thought it would mess with them more.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know. They're trappers or hunt. They just happened to cross him, and I think I don't know if it was fear that they felt they had to hunt it, or if maybe it was slightly excitement because they were a bunch of trappers and hunters. But I think that they did that scene very well to show that I feel like this goes back to what Will was saying too. Like maybe he isn't blooded, maybe he isn't that experienced. He was observing a lot when he first got there. Like even to the coyote or wolf that he fought, he watched it first. So maybe he wasn't very experienced in hunting, or he'd never been to our planet before. So Earth was different. Maybe he was used to hunting things in a swamp or something. So when with the trappers, they did their best, I guess. But I mean,
did they though?
Did they?
Did they?
They did. They did it was very realistic, though. I mean, if you look back, these guys are firing, muskets with, powder and ball muskets. So they make the field get all smoky. Plus, they set the trees on fire, and it's pretty much like you just made everybody blind.
Exactly, but gave him great vision.
Yeah, exactly. What strategy was this?
I guess they try to psych them out because of the heat vision and everything, or I mean, but they wouldn't know that, right?
Yeah.
They probably assumed it was just some animal, and they figured fire.
They could smoke them out.
Well, see, and it was a practice to burn parts of the woods to flush stuff, especially a predator, like a big predator. Back when you only had, they had to it takes them about 20 seconds to load up a ball and gunpowder and all that stupid shit. So they can't risk that. So what they'd like to do is they have the rifle ready, they burn a spot, and then kind of flank it. And then when it comes out, we shot it. We killed the predator. But that's probably what they're used to fighting, is like a mountain lion or something. So they're like, we smoke him out.
Right.
But that just backfired there.
Real bad.
But I mean, you could see the different types of hunting. You got to think those guys are probably the highest technology of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had the best that time had to offer. But compared to the Comanche were on it. I mean, with bows and spears, they gave the predator much more of a tough time.
That worked.
And it was raw skill without technology. It was skill versus the predator or technology. Technology, just every movie, if you try to go with our technology versus theirs, there's no contest.
Yeah, their forest mastery is off the chain too. Like the way that they differentiated plants and used them for every purpose in the book, like medicine, cooling your blood off so predator can't see you.
Yeah, that was smart.
That was badass.
I think that dude would have lived if he hadn't have screamed after the predator had stepped on his leg. I was like, don't scream. He said, ah!
He did. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Oh shit. It's almost like the berserker did it on purpose. Like, you ain't dead.
Right.
Get your ass up.
Your blood's still warm. I see that.
Get your lazy ass up.
He does curb stomps prior to double tapping. Like,
double tap.
I'll just stomp on these fools and then stab them.
He learned it from American History X. Hey, watching too much American movies, man. Stop it.
Like, stop it. You got dreads. Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's a bad habit, bro.
But they definitely set him up a little bit different, like his look on his face and everything. So like I know he's probably some one of their other factions or whatnot. But even the dreads you just mentioned, his were a little different than the way it looked on the jungle guy and the city guy,
Mm-hmm.
So he was they were definitely specific, and I like that fact. I think it was really evident that they're trying really hard to reignite this franchise, because I mean, the bringing out of all these different new weapons and stuff, I think that was all to try to re-energize and like, hey, there's more to this than just what you've seen, especially the Predator movie.
Oh yeah. Take him to Africa next. We got to see him in Africa
She good?
because you know some tribes are gonna fuck Predator up when he shows up to town, and that you could be accurate 100% and not miss a beat.
Yeah.
I do, however, think the Comanche girl, she kind of defeated Predator on a little bit of BS.
Yes.
It was like,
Definitely.
where did that missile come from? How did she? What? Why did it fire like that and just kill him?
That's what I was
She
saying, man.
used his missile against him and defeated Predator. She could have killed him anyway, but that missile just took me aback. I was like, oh, a missile, missile. Hi, missile.
I grabbed my pearl so I had it.
When did the Comanche learn about laser beams and targeting and
Right.
That's why she was so cool, because she was very clever, and
She watched.
she paid attention,
Yeah.
and she watched.
I think that's the difference. Is like the warriors, her brother and his warrior friends were quick for combat,
Yeah.
whereas she was less. She wanted to prove herself, but she didn't have the confidence level that they did. So when the Predator first shows up and starts killing off the boys that came to pick her up, she watched a lot.
Yeah.
And noticed, hey, every time that red beam, that red light comes on, or whatever the hell it is, out of nowhere, a spear goes through someone's face or something. So she's like, holy shit, I gotta stay away from the red thing. I mean, obviously she doesn't understand it's a laser.
Right.
But
her observation skills was next level.
Yeah.
Like,
She had like a 100 plus, 10%.
Yeah.
It was like, well,
I
rolled a 20 every time. It's like, damn.
I think the part that got me was when the Predator was walking up on that one guy, and the guy had the musket or whatever it was aimed at his face, and when he shot it at him, the bullet bounced back and hit him. I'm like, what just happened?
What in the world just happened?
I don't know what happened, man. Like, did it hit the plating or something and bounce back? Or
yes, this wasn't that guy's day.
Man.
Earlier in the day, his fortune cookie told him, like, do not shoot anybody in the face, and he didn't listen, and he did it
he
anyway.
ain't listen. He ain't listen, man. I told him.
Yeah, but
It's in a deleted scene. He's opened the fortune cookie. He's like, don't shoot at anyone's face. And he's like, whatever, man. And look what
I don't
happened.
believe this.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. Yeah, I forgot that a certain scene happened in the movie where she like had to pull herself out of the mud. I was like, she could just drown him. She had so many different options on how she could just take that berserker's life. That missile.
Yeah.
Oh, I also forgot, like, when Will brought up the CGI, the first thing that came to my mind was that random rattlesnake that popped the squirrel. I was like, okay, that was a little unnecessary, because the squirrel ate the bug and the snake ate the squirrel and the eagle came.
Yeah. I was waiting for the Circle of Life music to start.
Right.
Like,
oh my God, I was just going to say.
Circle.
We just witnessed the whole chain.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there are definitely discrepancies, but I know, like, to me, the fight when her and her brother are fighting him at the same time in the trappers encampment or whatever.
Yeah.
He's already been hit with multiple bullets. He fought a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
So he's not in the best of shape. And then her brother brings it, man. I mean, like 110%.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he got killed, but
almost took his ass out.
Yeah. And then she gets the pistol shot off on him and takes out a quarter of his forehead, like blam. So no matter what, I think near the end, his ability to kind of tell what the fuck's going on was probably really low. I mean, people were like, well, how did he not know about his, targeting system or whatnot? I'm like, bro, he just took a bullet through this part of his head.
He went through hell.
Straight, man.
Yeah.
His arm cut off. I mean, I myself, if my arm was cut off, I'd be calling the spaceship and be like, we've got to go to the hospital right now.
Like, I would like to see somebody be able to do critical thinking with their arms cut off and have their heads missing. Like,
buddy care. Selfie buddy care.
I mean,
like, yeah, go ahead and figure that out.
You got to use your cat card.
Yeah, you put your cat card on. Stop the bleeding.
Right there.
Put a tourniquet on your neck. Stop the bleeding from your head.
Stop the bleeding.
I can't breathe.
Please.
The bleeding has stopped, though.
We might have to send his replacement early. Shit, he is going out.
Time to tell.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Them humans were too much for him.
They can be.
Yeah, he was definitely a new blood or something, man. He had to be.
Oh man. The way he adapted so quick to his environment and still went through all of that. And it's like, yeah.
It's true. I don't think it ever really went into how long he was there, did it? It's almost like they get off their ship or whatever pod that they land in, and it's like they just kind of hit the ground running, So
right.
Still, you got to give that Predator mad props for just kind of going on like an alien planet and just
and
killing
dominating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that gets props is that it seemed very authentic, as in the people that they cast. There wasn't any guy with just paint on his face or just random oh well, we ran out of Native Americans, why don't we cast some Mexican dudes? And what I like to call the Big Trouble in Little China effect. If you've ever watched Big Trouble in Little China, me and Jen were watching not too long ago. The fight scene where the tongs and they're in that back alley, right? Mm-hmm. At least 3 of those scenes when they're fighting, it's like you're just random white dude, because they ran out of there was only Chinese guys that they could hire, and they're like, all right, we're gonna have to reuse a lot of you guys, and then Jim over there on the best boy key grip, he's gonna be Chinese man number 5, and I mean, there was none of that though, the old John Wayne movies where they had
white guys and
teeth and Franklin here are gonna paint their faces, and they're gonna be the extra Native Americans. I really felt like they went and not only did they learn from them, but they tried to be authentic with their casting and get individuals in there that I mean, to me, I can't tell from looking, but to me, they all seemed very well into the culture and the dress and everything. I mean, as well as I know of it, but I was impressed.
That was badass. That was great writing as well. Just like Sandman, they put a lot of attention to details, and I'll say if this was a source material that you could read, I would definitely start collecting books like that, dedicated to the Comanche story, the Edo Japan, maybe the hunters from that.
They
era.
do have the Predator comic books and everything.
Dark Horse.
Is there the, I would say the hunting being hunted arcs going on in the comic books too, or?
I'm not really sure. I mean, I've only seen a couple. I saw a lot of the AVP stuff, the Alien versus Predator stuff.
I've seen Batman versus Predator.
Batman and RoboCop and Mary Poppins. All the different crossovers.
Yeah,
that happened.
Yeah, I've seen those. It's just Prey is in the class of its own. Seeing a whole tribe of Comanche, how they would really react to having a apex predator like that in the forest is this would make great material for reading
Yeah, like historical fiction. Yeah, you're right. That would be awesome. Like see different cultures. Like it'd be great to see. Like I mean, shoot, you could go back to medieval. They did have a short one on YouTube. It was like medieval knights or whatever versus the Predator. They made a short movie of that. But I mean, they could do like Africa, South America. You got
Vikings. Vikings would be a great. Oh,
I think they'd win because they just take it to the water, and then the Predator does that whole zippy zappy. I can't be invisible anymore.
Yeah.
No, not water. And then they take him out. It's like, hey, you guys travel galaxies, but you can't like waterproof your shit. I mean,
electronic.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying,
electricity is everything to them.
Yeah,
that really
they get a little bit of water on there, and it's like zippity zap zap. Here I am.
Shit.
I'm not invisible. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh,
wait, time out.
Like, what? Even my cell phone can take more water than that. My cell phone, I can drop it in the tub and pick it up and still, put some rice on it. So they need is some rice on their equipment.
He goes to a local hunting store and buys camouflage. All right, I'm ready now.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I put the face paint on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can still see you. Shit. That would suck. That would suck so bad to not have no equipment on Earth while you're hunting people.
Yeah.
You're like, why did you get off the spaceship? Get back on it. That is a sad day. So overall score, what would you give it, Jen?
Gosh, that's hard. Because I'm such a big fan of the franchise. It's hard because I like all of them. Oh gosh, I'd have to probably give it like a 8 too. I thought it was really good. I really probably. I mean, all things aside, I mean, like I see what you're saying about the CG and stuff, Will, but I just really enjoyed the story so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The story did that.
Yeah.
And Will, what you got?
7.5. Maybe.
You always go with the halves.
Okay, I said
He was 7 3/4.
What about you, EJ?
Yeah, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 because I see it for what it is. It's not perfect. It was a Hulu immediately released to streaming, so that and the budget, and I'm not sure how much they had. So for what they did really good. And seeing that the franchise was, kind of the ship was going down, they came in and patched up the holes and at least kept it afloat. So you got to give them some props. So I'll give them an 8.
Real genius. I love it. I'm gonna go with Jen and EJ on this one. I definitely got to give it an 8 for overall productiveness and paying homage to the Comanche Nation, and that's such a fresh take on the series, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Hulu doesn't really drop a lot of hits when it comes to movies, but that's going to be up there. That's top 10 for Hulu right now.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, everybody's talking about it. That probably saved Hulu too. I mean,
oh yeah,
all this streaming wars going on, and it seemed like Disney was about to just swallow them all. They might be able to stay at least their own entity for a while before they read it.
Right.
Even fans who aren't fans are watching.
And with Netflix and all the troubles that they've been getting in, they've managed to snag a few customers back with shows like The Sandman, and knowing that Stranger Things is going to end and Cobra Kai is supposed to be ending soon. I think they got one more season after this, but we got Cobra Kai in about a month, and Netflix isn't going to lose customers too fast. But
no, well, plus you still have The Witcher going on too.
Yeah, Witcher. And they do release some decent original movies. I mean, that One Day Shift was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Not too far back, I don't know if you've seen it, but it was called Spectre
Spectre.
or let me check real quick. I'll get back to you real quick here. Can I use?
They have some good. They have some good.
It was an original movie. It was a science fiction movie about a war in, I would say, Eastern Europe
That's my
somewhere, and this former Soviet Union nation or whatever, it's definitely Eastern European, ends up making race to fight soldiers, and it's almost spooky and then military and sci-fi all at once, and it was done really well. Let me see if I can find it.
That sounds very familiar.
If you get a chance, I mean, it was probably one of the better, or Spectral. It's a Netflix original. I highly recommend it. It doesn't have a whole lot of big names that you'll recognize in it, but it's very well done, and probably one of the more original science fiction movies I've seen.
Isn't the guy that was Iron Fist? Wasn't he?
Oh
No.
Is a different guy?
Yeah, he was in Iron Man 3.
Different white guy with curly hair.
He was one of Guy Pearce's thugs, but the main thug that he had, the main guy with extremists, when he captures Rhodey or whatever.
Yeah,
but I can't remember his name. But he's been in a couple movies. He was in that the Empty Man movie.
James Badgedale. That's his
James Badgedale. Because if you have a name like James Badgedale,
I don't even know,
the
man.
last name like that. Holy
What?
Cumberbatch.
Hey, easy with Dr.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I like my Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is the man.
He is. Yeah,
he would have made a great Reed Richards too, but Strange got him first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't complain.
I can't believe they're probably not going to keep John Krasinski for Reed Richards. I would have liked to seen that. I mean, he put so much effort. He really tries hard to be part of Marvel, and they keep pushing him off. It's like, come on, man. This guy's been letting it go since Captain America. He wanted to be Captain America, and they didn't pick him.
Man, everybody wanted to be Captain America. Or
everybody.
Thor.
That was a hard. Man. I mean, to me, when I first heard they were making a Thor movie, I laughed so hard. I think there was tears. Because, I mean, I was never a huge Thor fan in the comics, but I was just trying to imagine them bringing it to a movie and it being serious. And I was like...
Casanova, Rico Suave.
Yeah, I was like, Thor?
It's a sex symbol.
Yeah, I mean, Iron Man, I could see them pulling it off. I was like, hey, you guys did better than I thought it was going to be, but cool. But then, you know, they were announcing there was the original group of Avengers. You know, they did Iron Man, they're going to do Captain America, and then they chose to Thor. I was like,
holy. Chris Hemsworth was definitely a great choice, though. I let them had that. The Thor movies, but the actors for Thor and Loki, like they came and showed out.
They did.
They earned their contracts for sure. Like Tom Hiddleston, Chris Hemsworth. Like I've never had a problem with their performances in movies and TV shows, but the movies themselves, that's a different story.
I'm weird. I liked the Thor 2 movie. I know everybody's like, oh, the Dark World was dumb. I was like, I really liked the interaction between Thor and Loki. That one, I think it starts to dawn on Loki how important Thor is to him, even though he doesn't want to admit it. You know what I mean? He and Thor's begrudging, you know, I'm going to love you anyway, big brother kind of thing.
Right.
Just, you know, eventually it seems to me like Loki's not perfect, but he's starting to feel it and see it. So I like that movie. And, you know, I thought it wasn't that bad. I haven't seen the latest Thor movie, but, you know, everyone always rates The Dark World as one of the worst Marvel movies, but I actually rate the first Avenger, Captain America First Avenger, is one of the worst.
That's right. That's right up Emperor's alley right there.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Is that your thing?
No.
Oh, okay. You're with me.
I don't like Captain America.
Can't stand him.
Really at all.
No.
I like him. I like him a lot. Just not that movie. That movie was awful.
America's ass.
America's ass. How can you not like America's ass, Will? What's America's
Wait,
ass?
what?
That's his nickname. That's Steve Rogers' nickname because of Chris Evans. He's like, that's America's ass. Even She-Hulk refers to him as that now. It's like,
oh, I haven't watched that.
She-Hulk,
it's pretty good, man.
It is so good. It is. Yeah. It might be the best show. Like they said it before that it was the best TV series for MCU thus far.
They say that about every series. Like
I've heard some people.
Dang, like, when are they not saying this?
You're right.
I heard them say Moon Knight was trash, and I couldn't.
I know everybody. I thought Moon Knight was good. I'm the dumb guy that was like, this was pretty damn good.
It was good as it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people are like, "Oh, Moon Knight's trash. It's overhyped, overrated."
That giant crocodile lady fighting a giant bird man. If you can pull that off in an episode, no one goes, then you did pretty good.
Right.
You know, I mean, shit, I didn't expect that to pull off. And when that happened, I was like, that's actually pretty dope. That was pretty badass.
Can you imagine pitching that?
Yeah.
Like, all right, so imagine this giant crocodile lady and a giant bird man. They start duking it out in the pyramids.
Right near the pyramids, and it's going to be crazy.
Oh, my God.
I want Ethan Hawke.
Biting the shit out of each other.
What?
I want to be there next time.
And he's only a little bird head skull thing.
Bird head skull.
Yeah.
Pecking the alligator.
I really think that the unsung hero of the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe is the Marvel casting. Whoever does the casting for Marvel saves the motherfucking day. Because
every time.
Even when the movie isn't the best or when the series isn't the best, just having the right character carry it just a little bit more just saves the day. I mean, WandaVision, I ain't gonna lie. First and into the end of the second episode, I was struggling, but the two of them together did a good enough job to carry me into staying on. And then it ended up being probably my favorite, out of the whole thing. So
I can't wait to review She-Hulk. We're probably going to wait for the season finale and then review the whole season 1 of She-Hulk. But episode 1 was off to such a great start. It's ridiculous.
That's
like
good.
Bruce Banner, like if you're a huge Hulk comic book fan, you got to listen to him closely because he confirms so much in that first episode. Like me and Rob are like raving over it. Like all the things that he was saying in episode 1. I wouldn't miss out on that. Okay. A lot of people are like, don't watch She-Hulk, don't watch Miss Marvel. No. Like, damn, don't be hating on female superheroes like that, man. Come on.
I really like She-Hulk, man. Ain't gonna lie.
She-Hulk was great.
And did you guys finish the Miss Marvel series?
We did. Well, I did.
Yeah. We only watched to a certain point, but then we got spoiled by, people telling everybody the end. I was like,
it got bad.
Yeah.
It got real bad. Like people were like, oh yeah, by the way, Miss Marvel's a mute. Well, damn. Yeah. Thanks for letting me watch it myself. Shit.
No.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I didn't watch the Hawkeye series. I tried. I got to episode 4.
I stuck it out for Scarlet Witch and Kate. I stuck it out for those two.
I've seen a couple episodes, and then I don't know.
And people swear that it's the top 2 or 3, and the way that they treated Kingpin was absolutely no.
Really?
They did Kingpin wrong with that show. I might be the only person that feels that way.
Good job.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio, man. When they first said that, I was like, really, Vincent D'Onofrio? Then when he came on, I was like, damn.
Come on, he played the bug guy on Men in Black. You can't top that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Who can play a bug?
Legendary. Legendary.
He did. That was Dude, he was in Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Vincent got a long
he
history.
plays Private Pile.
What?
Yeah, you gotta go back. I mean, he's in a lot of stuff that you don't realize, and he did such a good job doing it. I mean, I guess it shouldn't be underestimated. I mean, just like one of Jen's favorite movies is The Cell, and he makes that movie.
He did great.
His ability to go cold and just dark like that is just like, so when they said that he was going to be Kingpin, I was like, he's got the acting chops for it.
He does.
He's got the range.
He's got the range. He can play
nailed it too.
Cold and deadly, you know?
You know he was the original Thor, right?
Yeah. Back in the
No fucking way. No fucking way.
You guys ever watch Adventures in Babysitting? And she was like, Thor! And he was like this mechanic that worked in the garage, and he was dressed like it. It was awesome.
What?
That's it. Yeah. If you ever get a chance, go back. That's
Just go watch
Vincent
the
D'Onofrio
YouTube video
again
clip.
being Thor.
No, I seen that scene like
OG
about
Thor.
a half a year ago. I seen that, and I'm like, is that the guy from Law and Order?
Yeah.
Criminal Intent?
Yeah, Criminal Intent. Yeah, he
What?
did good on that too.
It's crazy.
Casting is off the chain with Marvel. Jesus Christ.
They did their work. That's why I feel like DC did their work with Sandman. You know, they definitely did their work. And I think
They could just do that with everything else, then they'll be good.
Absolutely. Because
but I mean, right
Charlie,
now they got troubles with the whole DC extended universe. Like,
they really do. Charlie Cox is like the greatest Daredevil I might ever know in this lifetime.
I would have never guessed too. I mean, he is awesome, but the only movie I knew him from was what was it?
He's from
Stardust. Was the only movie I ever seen with him in it, and I was just like, that guy's gonna be Daredevil.
Matt fucking Murdock.
And he was badass. Bro, that hallway scene is still one of the best fucking fight scenes ever.
One shot. Everything.
Damn.
One take cool. Jake. He was hurting people too. I was like, oh my God.
I know. You felt for them too. He was tired. He was still breaking people down. I mean, damn.
Stuntmen were really taking damage in that scene. It was like, oh my God.
Stuntmen are cursing his name right now. Well, we were like, he's the best. Charlie Cox the best. They're over there like, fuck him.
I did that. I did it.
He broke my fucking back.
Yeah. I got 3 missing teeth from that bitch. Like, they hate it.
I have 3 misplaced ribs.
Yeah. I left 1 at the scene. It's there still. Like,
yeah.
But and I heard they're gonna use Punisher 2 for it. I'm glad because I thought John Bernthal did really good being Punisher. I mean, I didn't know he could pull it off, but I loved every part of the Punisher series from Netflix.
They got so
angry they canceled that one.
They got so military centric with it too. I fell in love, like a whole different perspective on Punisher, like coming from his military side, and everybody around him is military, and he's trying to help people with PTSD. Like this is so good writing. Like one of the best adaptations on Netflix. Jessica Jones was good too, but Iron Fist. Season 2 was a little.
Iron Fist was, woo, woo.
Danny, damn it, bro.
Oh, I mean, what's her name? The girl,
Colleen. Colleen Wing.
She did a badass job. Okay,
she did.
She rocked that role. Did good. Some of the peripherals for the show, they did good. He just didn't fit, man. I don't know. I mean,
at all.
Like
the guy that he had that was the previous Iron Fist before him, he was a better Iron Fist than him. I'm like, bro, that's your antagonist. What the fuck?
Like, damn, the guy you replaced is still better than you.
Still.
You're like the great value Iron Fist. It's sad. I mean,
You're the side
I
character.
didn't know there was a
Name
way
brand.
Kung Fu look weak. Okay, I didn't think you could make Kung Fu look weak. He successfully did it. I mean, I felt like I could take blows from him and just be like, I'm gonna make a sandwich. You know, it was just his form and everything just felt so. I was like, this guy trained? Did they train him? Because I feel like I could fake Kung Fu better than that. And
Dude, I was kind of yelling. I was yelling at the screen because my dad is a black belt, and I'm like, dude, no, that form is too loose. Tighten it up.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the best, right?
He's supposed to have a dominant presence in most fight scenes.
Yeah.
And they even made it accurate to like, since he doesn't have the choreography down, he's gonna get his ass whooped, and he definitely got handed to him by some
The amount
grunts.
of times he got whooped, I wanted to cry. I was
Like, what the
I
fuck?
hate this. I hate it.
What are you doing?
I didn't think I could hate something this much. I hate it.
What are you doing?
They could have titled it
man.
Iron Fist gets his ass whooped. Season 1, season 2.
It's crazy.
They could have picked Johnny freaking Lawrence from Cobra Kai, and he would have made a way better Danny Rand than Finn.
Yeah,
That's a
definitely.
good one.
Definitely.
He looks just like Danny Rand in comic books too. Like, well seasoned, way into his 30s or 40s, and that'd be a great Danny Rand to work along with. Luke Cage, perfect casting too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Mike Coulter.
Season 2.
Oh, so good. And they came and showed out for Jamaicans in season 2 Luke Cage. They nailed it.
They killed. Yeah.
Bushmaster. Luke Cage.
Oh yeah. I
Yes.
like Luke Cage. That was a good one too.
Yeah, season 2 with Bushmaster was a whole lot better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
And the actor that played Bushmaster was a bad motherfucker too. I loved him.
Yeah.
The villains in general, like Mahershala Ali was Cottonmouth, and then the guy who played Willis Stryker, Luke Cage's brother, nasty actor. Like the lines he would say in the movie would be so cold, or not the movie, but the TV show would be so cold.
Right.
I still think he's one of my top 10 MCU. Well, not really MCU, but like Marvel live action villains to this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stryker was nasty. He showed up to the scene. Nobody knew he was coming. He had a Judas bullet and a sniper rifle. Take this, Luke. Bow.
Yeah.
And just been talking shit to him every time they fight. And it's just like, ugh.
Oh man, I forgot about that. Yeah. Dang. So I'm telling you, whoever writes the dialogue for some of this stuff too, I'm just like, dang, where do you come up with this stuff?
Right. Like, how? What are you thinking about?
Who hurt you?
Oh, you're right. You must have been hurt in your lifetime to write this. I feel it. I feel every piece of it. Yeah.
Did your daddy say this to you? What happened?
Your daddy say
It was one time. He's writing it down.
Is this what you wanted to say to those bullies? Yeah.
That explained everything.
That explains everything.
Hey. These
Like,
fellas
his
go
imagination
off.
went wild. He was like, you know what I wish I had done back then? Let me write this down.
Gosh.
Man. And Jessica Jones, I don't care what people say about female-led TV shows. They kiss my ass. Jessica Jones.
I like a strong female character. You know what I'm saying?
Jessica showed out, bro. She showed out. The Kristen Ritter, she is a perfect Jessica Jones. And like,
yeah,
she is.
She's so fucking funny. She acts just like the comic book Jessica Jones. And facing off with Purple Man in season 1, that was some wild shit. And they humanized him and everything. That's one of Marvel's nastiest villains. And they brought him to life with precision. Like, that's exactly who he'd be in real life. I'm sad they had to kill him, but he was a threat, a huge threat.
Oh, he was.
Purple Man would be like, "Hey, I need you to go have sex with a grinding machine," and you'd be like, "Oh fuck, I'm in trouble." Purple Man was nasty with it. He would tell you to do something, and he's like,
Yeah.
I need you to go and get into a fight with a polar bear and a tall anteater tonight,
What the heck?
and you would go do it.
Okay.
All right.
All right, and you can't stop until you do what he asked you to do. His power is nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty broken, man. Like,
His power is so nuts.
I don't think it's. I think they nerfed it for the live action, but in the comic books, this dude is just, oh my god! Like,
Man,
I didn't see any way of like beating this dude, but she figured it out. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's Jessica Jones to the max.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they do figure out how to bring him back though. He gotta continue being the problem for Marvel.
They may bring him back.
Yeah, if they bring Killmonger back, they can definitely bring him. Two of the biggest assholes in the game.
Man, you know how many times they brought Freddy Krueger back and you always thought he was permanently dead? I mean, they'll figure out a way, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right.
That dude don't stay dead.
Like, no, he's not.
It still can't kill Michael either. Well, they're going to kill Michael now, but shit. It took us how many years?
Yeah.
Like, Jamie Lee Curtis is finally going to kill him.
I had a feeling like, dude, I was like, about Michael Myers, like, I had a feeling it was tied to that house, bro. Like, the whole time, I'm like, he keeps returning back to the same town, and, like, it's the same house. Like, you know, so what if he just, like, cursed to, like, stay in that house or something like that, man? Like, or stay near it? What if that's his heart? Like, you know, what if you burn that down? Maybe you get rid of him permanently.
Man.
That's a good idea. I'd probably start there, you know. That's where you have a crossover and have Supernatural come, you know.
Right.
You guys assault the house, burn it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Two of the most dangerous houses in the history of man. The murder house from American Horror Story and Michael Myers' fucking house.
Oh,
Yep.
Those two houses got bodies.
Yeah.
Mad body count.
Oh, yeah.
Only thing.
Good twist, though.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching American Horror Story too. It's just like, man, if you anywhere near the murder house, I know it's a wrap. It got so bad that people will walk through the doorstep and you like it's a random ghost ready to shank you right there. It's like, it's like,
yeah.
No.
What the hell?
I can't.
Can I at least meet the ghost?
Nope.
My name's DJ. What is your name?
Just like,
Tony.
Tony? What kind of ghost?
Fuck you, Tony.
If you're here, Tony, talk to me.
Hey, what's your name?
What's your name?
Tony.
Oh, Tony the Tiger? No.
Don't bring my wife into this. You want to hear a joke? I was by a fire last night.
Yeah?
You son of a bitch. With your wife. Fuck you. Fuck you.
It still makes me cry whenever I watch those.
That's one of the dumbest videos of all time. Oh my god. Fuck you, Tony.
Oh goodness. No, I'm like, I wonder if that's what dogs really think. Like, hey.
Like, yeah, definitely, man. Like, I wonder what animals like think for real. Like, they probably look at us as retarded or dumb or something.
Loud as shit too.
Yeah. Like,
Dumbass human.
Please shut up being so loud. God dang.
Is that true? Where's my dog? Oh, she's cracked on the couch.
He's like, I don't know what y'all talking about.
She's ignoring me.
He's like, I don't need detention today. Holler at me later. Oh my god! I hope they really bring Jessica Jones and at least Luke Cage back, the actors
Yeah.
that played them.
Hey,
I'd be
Deante,
set.
Yeah, I'd love that too.
did you see Black Freezer? They finally did it. They made him black. Black Freezer.
And we've been joking about this for years.
Right.
Most
With
of the
that
nerd
Black Air Force
community,
energy.
we gave him a New York Yankee fitted cap and some Timberland shoes, and this like we've been going like that's Frieza
Yep.
right there for years. Now
And
he's black.
Finally
Now,
they made it.
now he's black.
That dude manhandled Goku and Vegeta.
At the same time,
Right.
he said, "Dead ass B." Pow.
Dude, I tuned in for that. I was like, yes. Yes. I hate Goku.
That's what I'm talking about, Frieza. You got an invitation to the cookout.
Right.
We're gonna invite you, Wiz Khalifa, Snoop Dogg, everybody.
Hey guys, I gotta call it a night. It's been great. Thank you very much for having me with you guys.
All right.
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate you from coming by, man.
Yeah, appreciate
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Thank you guys for having us on.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you for
Appreciate
stopping
y'all,
by as well.
Yeah.
It's been
thank
great. I
you.
appreciate it.
All
You guys have a great night. Absolutely.
All right.
You too.
You
Take
guys
care.
too.
Take
Good
care.
to see you in good health, Will.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Glad you're feeling better.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
All right.
But yeah, that it's about almost 11. I probably wrap the show up with announcements, and then we can prepare for either seasons or episode 7 or episode 9, whichever comes
You
first.
trying to jump us to season 3 already?
Whew.
Season 3 about to be wild. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
With
gonna
all
be-
the announcements they made about next year. Oh my god. Season
Yeah.
3 about to be wild.
It's off the chain.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of good stuff coming. And new artwork, new topics, more hosts, more platforms, whatever you need, we got it.
Anime, MCU, DCEU, all of it.
Nothing but nerd content dropping in 2023. Especially, Kang the Conqueror's year.
Oh yeah. Hot topics, man. Hot topics.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Ooh,
Lord have mercy.
2023 is gonna be fire.
Solo leveling. What?
God, please let them get this right.
Please, Jesus.
Please let them get this right. I did not want to have to give a bad review on this damn podcast.
I waited so long to see this animated, and I hope. Oh my God, please, Jesus. I don't want no
Please, Jesus.
CGI. None of that.
None of that. This ain't Berserk. This ain't Berserk.
What was the freaking company that made the Fate series?
Dang, I forgot the name already.
That's who I wish did it, but they said that this company that's doing it is, pretty well known too. So,
Yeah. They did Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
So
they did
I'll let them slide for that for sure.
Right. Now, if it's on that level, I would definitely be enjoying it.
Man,
Right.
I'd be hooked.
They got to come with the game. They got to come with the A game, man.
They screwed up with God of High School, but that was Mappa Studios, so this their chance.
Yeah,
It's their chance to shine. Like, I'm expecting Solo Leveling. There's supposed to be Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
The Swordsmith Village arc is going to be,
man.
that's probably like my third favorite arc next to Red Light District and the castle, the Infinity Castle. Because they those Upper Moon demons, they don't play no games, and y'all finna see one of my favorites. Akaza and what's his name, the number one guy, No, the number 2 guy. Number
Number
2
two,
guy.
yeah. Doma.
Doma's a nasty.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't ready for whose body he about to drop. They ain't ready for that body drop. Oh, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about that. But ooh, you ain't read the manga. You
Just
about to have a
depressed me,
bad day.
man.
That's gonna be a bad day in
I'm
the anime
depressed.
community. Oh, Lord have
Dang.
mercy. Sad day.
Mm.
Let's see. But yeah, we Will, you got anything for as far as the Twitch side goes?
Should be back streaming soon. Hopefully Sunday or maybe sometime next week. Yeah.
Yes,
I am like me and a couple other friends. We are getting into Apex, so might be streaming a little bit of Apex and all of that. Waiting for the new Call of Duty to come out and everything.
heck yeah. Hopefully, I'm in the gaming business by the time some of these new games drop.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I got to catch up on Elden Ring. I got to catch up on
A lot.
yeah.
That day.
My next game confirmed is going to be Pokemon Violet. So,
dang.
one way or another, I'm going to stream that. I'm going to
I
stream
really want
that.
that game, man. Yeah.
We're going to figure out how to get you a Switch because it's going
I'm
down
gonna
now.
I'm gonna figure it out. I should have one soon.
And it's multiplayer co-op, so we could team up on some stuff and tag team.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Pokemon trainers and run phase. I know you're gonna have a nasty loadout, so I gotta bring mine too.
Yeah.
Bro, Nintendo Switch is making a comeback.
Yeah. And what's that new Marvel game that's coming out with like that? No.
What's it like, the turn-based one?
It had Wolverine, Spider-Man.
That sound like Midnight Suns.
Yeah, Midnight Sun. I want to play that. When does that come out?
I think it's next month or October, one of those two.
Oh shoot!
Rob said he was gonna get it, so I'm finna watch y'all throw down on that.
If it comes out next month, I might have to just like put Call of Duty on hold for the month after.
Yeah. I'd be down for some Call of Duty too, but now this new bed in my room's so small, I gotta figure out where my TV goes.
Jesus.
It's like, dang it.
You're like in a closet, man.
Pretty much. I'm like, dang it. That's all right. We're gonna find a solution.
Yeah. By the end of this year, we will.
At the very least, y'all gonna catch some gameplay footage on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And some ratchet activity.
Ratchet activity.
Do you want to tell them now about the other podcast, or we gonna save that for a little bit later?
Probably save it for a little bit later. It's in the works. It's in the works.
Oh, for sure.
It's in the works.
Stay tuned for that information to drop as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's all I got, man. We pretty much covered everything and gave our scores out, man. We hope everybody that came to see us enjoyed the show.
Yep.
And we got y'all on the updates about episode 9 and 7. So hang tight. Thank you for bearing with us and being patient. Thank everybody that showed love to Emperorking Will while he made his return back. Yes. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.
We back in the game and stronger than ever.
Yes, sir.
You got anything else? You gotta let them know, or you good?
I think we're good, man.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 8, Saturday Night Nerds live streaming podcast. Thank you for showing up, and we will see y'all the next episode.